Well. Here we are on the back of a victory. Guys, part of me is conflicted. Like, do I gloat? Do I be humble, pessimistic, optimistic? I don't know what to do because the only thing that I can rely on is that we're going to be consistently inconsistent off the back of a dismal draw against Spurs at home to a
Scratch that.
thumping
Scratch that.
victory.
Scratch that. We're gonna
Thumping
enjoy
victory.
this. No, no,
Right.
no, no, no. Scratch that. We're gonna enjoy this. Yeah,
No,
like
no,
this
no, no,
hasn't
no.
happened loads of times this
You're
season.
gonna enjoy it.
Okay,
You're gonna
I'm gonna
enjoy
enjoy
it.
this. You can lament if
I'm
you
gonna
want.
sit,
I'm gonna
I'm gonna
enjoy this
sit with
victory.
splinters. I'm gonna sit with splinters because,
Nah, I'm gonna enjoy this,
like,
man.
like a good friend of mine told me, one thing's guaranteed this season: consistently inconsistent. I
We
wonder who
might talk
said
about
that.
that after the first game, but for tonight, massive, massive win, great victory. I'm over the moon, mate. I'm over the moon. This time last
All right,
week, I was happy
listen.
for us to go out. Not now.
Listen. Before we get into that, guys, come on. Road to 500. What we doing? Come on. What we doing here? Quote my good friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow the socials. You know what I'm saying? If you're following the socials, you would have seen us on TikTok live before this podcast. You know what I'm saying? Getting the temperature for the game. So yeah, come on, man. Do that good stuff. Help us out, man. Do you know what I mean? This game can't be the only joy we get all season. At the end of the season, let me be celebrating 500 subscribers. Come on. Do the
Yeah,
damn
yeah,
thing.
for real. For real.
Um, all right, into the game. Bro, I'm gonna keep it real. For me, that first half was dire, bro. I wasn't feeling that first half at all. Like, there
Dyer
were
is
some
hard.
positives. No, dire is strong, but it wasn't what I wanted it to be. There were some positives. Like, we looked like we could score a goal, but my days, how many opportunities did we squander? You're talking about the next round against better opposition. We got to be taking those chances, man. Come on, surely.
I hear that, but the PTSD that you were suffering was watching that first half and thinking, wow, we missed all these chances again. They're going to score and it's going to be a really nervous second half. And thankfully
Mm,
that didn't happen. But I can understand why you might feel that way because when we do create a lot of chances, we're not clinical. And second
mm.
half, suddenly we rediscovered where the net was, and I'm grateful for that because I was nervous. After we missed the penalty, I was like, whoa, the second half could be a bit tetchy because they can't be as bad as they were in the first, but they were probably worse, to be fair. Or we were more on the front foot and we stood on their necks a little bit more to kind of get the job done. Um, but yeah, I understand why you was nervy because the first half, although I thought we played okay, the chances we had, we should have been coming in 2 or 3 nil up. Game
Yeah,
should have been done at half time.
definitely 2-3 up from that first half.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I mean, we said on TikTok live, like you said, it's gonna be a four. Where did you get the foresight? Talk to me, man. Can I get like this week's lottery numbers? Because where did you get the foresight for this 4-2-2-2 business? Talk
I
to me,
told
man.
you, man. I told you. You just need to engage in what I'm saying and listen to it, yeah, and digest it because it's the truth. It's the
Don't
truth.
be trying to
It's
glow,
the truth.
acting like you're all seeing, all knowing. Let's
I'm
not
just
do that, yeah.
saying, I told you what
We're
was going to
being
happen. Innit?
truthful. If we're being truthful, 9 times out of 10, Slim's always right. Yeah. So let's just not, yeah.
You just be
Be
chatting right now.
humble. Be humble. Be
Okay, I'll
humble.
take my flowers. I was right. Okay.
I gave you your flowers and I said, yeah, I'm asking you, like, what made you think it was gonna be 4-2-2? But let's not start this whole all seeing, all knowing oracle business.
Okay. No, no,
'Cause
the reason I said that was because the fact that they have very aggressive front-footed fullbacks. So there's no
Mm,
point putting two wide men out there that haven't got pace to
mm,
beat the fullbacks. So they're going to be narrow. They're going to be narrow. And the width was supposed to be given by the fullbacks and by our
mm.
fullbacks. And that's what happened. That's what happened. And realistically, although Verts wasn't amazing, he was central quite a lot. And Mo was quite
Yeah.
narrow as well. So it worked in the first half. And it was just a pity we weren't clinical because really it would have been a good half if we'd have come in with really three minimum, I'd say.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely three. Should have been definitely three minimum. But yeah, so in that 4-2-2, that narrow formation, that you're right, it did allow the fullbacks to get forward. But as you mentioned him there, Florian Wirtz, in the first half, it didn't quite work for him in that central position for some reason, and I'm not sure why. Because he did see quite a bit of the ball in the first half. I just felt like his end product was off. When he should have released it, he took that extra touch to do something else. It just didn't quite click for him in the first half.
Yeah, it was a weird first half for him. I just put it down to him having an off day, and his touch was just off. His touch was off.
Mm,
His passing was off. His final ball was off. He still showed little bits of class, which you kind of expect, and little flicks and
yeah,
little touches. You're like, wow, for a second. But he probably should have scored twice.
yeah.
I just felt like it just wasn't his game today, and luckily, the second half turned around a little bit as a team, and so he didn't have to play well. But I was expecting a big performance from him tonight. In the first half, it just didn't. The ball didn't run for him, and what he did try generally didn't come off, which is a bit disappointing. But do you know what? No criticism. It's just an off day. Let's just hope he brings it back because he was in such good form before he got injured, and so I want to see that carry on.
I disagree. It is criticism, and I don't. As much as I rate him as a
Told
player,
you I'm
like
enjoying it,
no,
innit? So you can criticize him if you want.
but I'm just saying, like, no player is above criticism. If you have an off game or a
Yeah,
bad game or whatever you want to call it, this is what we're here to do, man. We're going to speak on it. Doesn't mean to say I want to see you sold in the summer. And no, I'm not saying that.
yeah.
But this is what we do. We talk about the game, and I think first half, rightly so, he's up for criticism, and he deserves the criticism because he wasn't the usual Florian Wirtz. I think he did get into good positions and he could have done more with the ball. We expect more with the ball. He's our playmaker. He's the guy we're looking to now moving forward to create chances for, TK and the rest of them to finish. And as we're on criticism, I'm going to stay negative and leave the positive till last. Ugareka TK. Guys, you've seen the pods. I got nothing but love for this kid, yeah, no homo. But today for me, I just think he was too selfish. He was too greedy. There, he could have played Salah in when he had that one on one, and he went spinning round like he was doing pirouettes on ice or something. I don't know. I just find he needs to find what's made us tick over the last few years is having a front three that are very much on the same wavelength and always look for each other. Yeah,
Yeah,
when
it's
you
fair.
go back as far as Suarez, Sturridge, even throw Sterling in there, they always used to look for each other, regardless of the egos. And I felt today his ego got the better of him, and he wanted to have that moment for himself when he could have actually found Salah and put it on a plate for him.
Do you know what? I'm going to defend him and say that as a young player on a big European night, he just got caught up. And he got
Okay.
taken in with the atmosphere, with the moment, and wanting to be the man. And let's face it, he has been the man this season for us up front. And there were opportunities where he should have laid the ball off, and he took one too many touches. And he does things at his own pace, at his own style, and sometimes that isn't with the fluidity and the intensity of the team. And that's cool because he's a young player. But I just feel like today in the first half, he just got swept up in the moment. In the second half, he was his normal self and he was unselfish and he was looking for players and he was seeing better
Yeah.
pictures. But in the first half, I think the atmosphere really just rolled into him and it kind of exuded itself in how he played. And there were opportunities whereby we lost chances because of that. But do you know
Yeah.
what? He played well. He played well, and I'm not
Listen,
gonna I'm not gonna say that anything bad about him today because he
no,
contributed.
I'm analyzing the first half. This is just me analyzing the first half. This is not me giving a view of his overall game. I'm just analyzing the first half because I wasn't happy with the first half performance fully. Do you see what I mean? I don't think it was as bad as performances past, but it wasn't the performance I expect from a Liverpool team overall. So yeah, do you get what I mean? So that's just my thing. Do you see what I'm saying?
You're good
Um,
to expect anything from this Liverpool team because I told you we're consistently inconsistent. So when things are good, I'm just gonna take it. Do you
yeah,
know what I'm
but you
saying?
see, yeah, but you see, I can't do that. You can't smack me in my face and tell me you love me. I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna accept that. You get what I'm saying? That's not what's gonna happen.
Oh,
So
why you're trying to tell
yeah,
Liverpool you're an abuser, yeah? Is that what you're
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Your
Okay,
relationship with you're an abuser.
yeah, you bought me that Rolex, you bought me that Van Cleef, that bunch of flowers, them chocolates, yeah. But then you kick me in my shins. Like, no, we're not gonna do that. We're not doing that. One guy who did have a good first half though is for me is Dominic Szoboszlai, and I've been very critical of Dominic Szoboszlai all season. Yeah, and I was even more so critical of him when people started comparing him to Steven Gerrard. Yeah, but I think for me today I slyly see why people would try and put him in the same bracket. For me, there was shades of the Stevie-esque performances in the sense of he was driving that team forward. I mean,
Mm.
he scores the goal, he wins the penalty. He was trying to whip the crowd up into a frenzy. I just felt like he was leading with his performance today. I saw glimpses, but listen, he could play like that for the rest of the season and all of next season. I still wouldn't put him in the same bracket as Stevie G because the guy was a god on that football pitch in that red shirt. You know what I mean? But I can see why people would start talking that talk.
Yeah, he's not in the bracket with BBG. Let's be very clear about that. However, there were elements of his performance in the first half, especially
Yeah,
that got Ali McCoy to be excited, and people see the 8 on his back. And don't get me wrong, that performance in the first half was Gerrard-esque, but he's not in the
yeah, that's
bracket.
right.
He was just
Those were the words
he was
I
just
used.
everywhere. He was just
Yeah,
everywhere, and his passing was good, his shooting was good, he was putting tackles in, he was all over the pitch, like you said, and
yeah.
I appreciated that from him when we needed someone to be a tempo setter. And
Mm,
it was good to see that from the midfield as well, because
mm,
I think Gravenberch and McAllister are sometimes a bit one paced, apart from when Gravenberch actually runs with the ball. And so when you have
mm,
someone that's all action, it does kind of it's infectious. And it
mm.
does work for us. And when you've got the crowd behind you on a European night like that, it's gonna be effective. And so great performance in the first half of him. I'm not gonna say anything other than that, but just to reiterate, he is not in the Steven Gerrard bracket. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I co-sign that. Yeah, again, yes, people. I use the word Steven Gerrard-esque. Yeah, they're not in the same bracket. Never will be for me. But yeah, big up Dom for that first half. And man,
Do you know what, bro? Before you go on,
people were
just
getting
real
at us. People were getting us for talking about this guy. Yeah, but
before.
like I said,
Oh,
that's what we're here to do. We're here to discuss this. This is what we're gonna do, people. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Salah's always going to be a GOAT for Liverpool. We respect what he's done, but like I said, nobody is above criticism. And first half Salah deserves deserves the criticism. I mean, he had he bro, forget all the other opportunities. He missed the penalty. He missed the penalty. The penalty wasn't even great. It was a poor penalty by his standards. It was neither in the corner, neither didn't have any pace on it. Like what? Yo, Mo. It was just shocking. There's nothing more I can say about that one. It was shocking. The end.
as I said, I'm gonna enjoy this, and I'm gonna take his overall performance. Yeah, the 85 odd minutes or 70 minutes, 75 minutes that he played. Yeah, he got a goal and an assist. Yeah, probably should have scored four, but yeah, I'm gonna take that because he contributed. He played well, especially in the second half, and he picked himself up after the first half, which I'd call indifferent. That's what I call it. Yeah.
You trying to be
And so,
Switzerland, man. Oh, yeah,
and
hey, them
so
splinters
listen,
hurt your
listen,
backside.
big him up,
Get off the
big him up, big him
fence.
up. Give him his flowers. He got his 50th goal in the Champions League for us. First African
Yeah,
player
big
to
up.
do it. Big him
Yeah,
up. So I hope
yeah.
the
No,
injury's not too
listen,
bad. And yeah, an amazing finish as well. Classic Salah finish. So yeah, I
listen.
mean,
You're skirting above around the issue, bro. Where I'm going to say again. I'm talking about first half only, and I'm talking about the first half. Yeah, like I said, yeah. Get off the fence. Stop trying to be Switzerland. Allow all that.
I'm not trying to
Call a
be
spade a
Switzerland. No,
spade.
I've gone for Salah before, several times. But I'm just appreciating the man because remember, every performance, every game is one game less to when he's gone. Yeah. And we know that it's coming to an end. But on a night like tonight, when specifically we needed him in the second half, he did actually turn up. I'm going to respect it and I'm just going to
I
enjoy it.
don't think I don't think he didn't turn up in the first half. I don't think I'm not saying
Now, he didn't
he
score in the
didn't
first
turn
half,
up in
that's
the
all.
first half. He did turn up in the first half. It's just his end product wasn't there. It wasn't the Salah that we know and love. We've got to know and love. Do you see what I mean? That's what I'm saying. He never hides. Salah never hides.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
always there. He's always showing for the ball. He doesn't, you know what I mean? So I'm not faulting him for that. I'm just saying his first half performance, when he went in at half time, I was looking at him like, yeah, you're definitely on a 4 or 5, bro. You know what I'm saying? Okay, all right, I'll let you off the hook. I'll stop talking negativity. We'll move to the second half real quick now. You know what I'm saying? So now do your thing, you can gloat and all
Thanks,
them
fella.
things. There, you know what I'm saying?
Do you know what
And
though?
in that,
Before we move to the second half, I got to shout out Slot. That is the most animated and detailed I've ever seen him for Liverpool. This game meant a lot, bro. They focused on him
do,
so much, and his animation, how emotionally invested he was with every decision, every time a Galatasaray player was rolling around, every time a decision didn't go our way, every time we had a near chance, he was so animated. You could see that he knows that his neck is on the line,
I was
and
about to say, is that because he knows his neck's on the
yeah,
line?
yeah, he knows his neck is on the line. And I think going out tonight would have sealed his fate for me because you can't really go out when you've got a second leg at Anfield at home to Galatasaray. It's not really gonna that you can't live and die on that. You're finished. You're finished. And
Especially
so
when the stadium is full with just
yeah,
Liverpool fans. Well, Madrid, like, do
yeah.
you know what I mean? It's
The
crazy.
emotion that he showed, I actually really appreciated it because he is a bit kind of, you know, there's not much there at times. There's not much there.
Looking
And
just
so
like one hard-boiled egg, boy.
yeah, all the time. All the time, man. Wilson Fisk out here, you know what I mean? It's like I appreciate it, and I felt like for once that energy from him on the sidelines actually transmitted to the team a little bit, along with the atmosphere. It's good to have a manager that can reflect the team and vice versa,
Mm.
and that actually happened tonight. And so I appreciated that, and you know what, he's gonna sleep good tonight because he needed that as much as we did.
Yeah, I guess because we're so used to Klopp reflecting the energy as well, so I guess it was nice to see as well.
Mm.
And do you know what? Yeah, as much as I was bigging up your foresight into the formation, I'm going to big him up for that as well. That adaptability to change the formation. He's clearly done his homework on
Yeah,
Galatasaray and realized the formation needed to change, and he changed it. And I respect that. I don't think a manager should be rigid in the formation that they play. I think the formation should be adaptable for different opponents. So I fully expect to see a different formation against Brighton.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, no, I'll big him up for that. But yeah, into the second half, it was 8 minutes, roughly 8 minutes of bliss in that second half. We just, I don't know what he said. You know what? In the TikTok live, someone said yeah about
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Slot doing a team talk of a lifetime for PSG. He performed something like that at halftime today because we came out of the traps like a greyhound, bruv, chasing a fucking what you would call it, a rabbit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, big up Slot for that, and big up the players for responding. Do you see what I mean? Because we come out and like you said, Salah with an assist. You know what I'm saying? Gravenberch with what he kind of hit it into the ground, but I let him off because it was his weaker foot. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it was a good second half all round, which for me allowed the likes of Szoboszlai to just not fall back, but not be so focal. You know what I mean? Not have to drag the
Yeah,
team, if you like. You
yeah,
see what I'm
yeah. The
saying?
rest of the
Allowed
team picked it
Florian.
up.
Yeah, yeah. So the rest of the team picked up their level, so it was more of a team performance towards the end, man. And yeah, Ugo he started to look for people a bit more. So yeah, no, I was happy with that second half, man. I'm not gonna lie. If we can replicate that for the rest of the season, I won't be mad because what I've been saying all season is it's not just the results that have upset me, it's the performances. But if we put in performances like that and we happen to lose, then you have to just take it on the chin, innit? Do you know what I mean? But if you put performances in like that, you're gonna win more often than not, aren't you?
Yeah, 100%. I think I mentioned it in the group that you know someone said if we can perform like this, then we'd be confident of getting top four. The problem is that we can't consistently, and that's been proven over the course of the season. So my hope is that we can put out these type of performances in the one or two big games that are left, and hopefully they can get us over the line. That's going to be against both games against PSG. That's probably against Man City after the international break, just to see if we can kind of drag that out of ourselves because it clearly is a massive physical effort and the athleticism generally hasn't been there enough to do it game after game, every 3 days, every 4 days. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just hoping that we can do it for the big games. On the TikTok live, I said, "Oh, what's going to get us through tonight? Another Real Madrid performance." And to be fair, in terms of the intensity and how much chances we created, that was close to that tonight. Obviously, it won't get
I
the
don't,
same level of recognition
yeah, I
because it's
don't think the
Galatasaray.
intensity. I don't think the intensity was at the same level as Madrid, though.
I think it was. I think it was. I think especially second half, the first sort of 20 minutes. And for parts in the first half, I think we were just onto them. It wasn't necessarily amazing football at times. There were some good patches of football, but just being on them and just pressing them on their first touch and getting men around them, it allowed us to win the ball back high. And that's what we haven't been able to sustain over the course of a game in the Premier League a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So it gives me little nuggets of hope for the right types of games against the right types of opponents. And,
Mhm.
we can't think that that type of game is going to work against PSG because they will more than likely pick us off because they're quicker
Yeah.
and more athletic
They're
than
quick.
us.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
gives
Yeah.
us
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
basis to work from to say, okay, well, maybe we can contain and do that in spells within games. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's a 10, 15 minutes here and there, then we sit, and then we regain possession. Do you know what I mean? Rather than tonight, which was pretty much for the most of the game because Galatasaray offered nothing.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. And just to throw more positivity, you did touch on it. Mo Salah getting his 50th Champions League goal. It was classic Mo, man. Classic Mo. It was great interplay between him and Verts and that whip with that left foot, man. That is, like, I know he's on the decline. That's obvious for everyone to see, but you know what? It's just in those moments. That's all I'm asking for. And I think today it worked for him being up front in a two and not having the responsibility to sort of track back. When he's playing off the right, he kind of he doesn't really make any tackles, but he does track back into that right
Yeah.
back area. Yeah. So him not having that responsibility, I think works for him, and that's what you need at his time in his stage in his career. Less running backwards and more running forwards, and I think that thing. I was so happy to see that ball go in, man. It was a sweet, sweet strike. You know what I mean? Because after the penalty, he needed to redeem himself, and that's what I'm used to with Mo Salah. No, think about Mo Salah through the years, how many chances that he's missed, but then he's popped up with a goal
Yeah,
later
yeah,
down the game. Like,
yeah.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, and I just hope what's left of this season, if you can contribute a few more great key goals like that, then I'll be happy, man. I'll be
Moments,
happy.
man. Just a few more moments. That's all we need. A few more
Yeah, man,
moments.
that's it, man. Just to see us over the line into that fifth spot, well, into that top five. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll take that. I'll take that. But for me today, my man of the match was Dominic Szoboszlai. Um, our boy Ryan said Ugo Ekitike was the man of the match. Who was man of the match for you?
I'm gonna go for Dom, just on the
Yeah.
basis of what he did in the first half, because he was doing more than his work. He was doing two
Mm,
man's work at times, and he really
mm,
was dragging the team forward. There was times when we've spoken about the team being Vertz's team when he's
mm.
working well with Ekatike. Tonight, in that first half, it was Soboslai that was really dragging everyone with him, and I appreciated that because we needed it, especially from midfield. It shows a bit
Yeah.
of character as well. We mentioned before in the pod about how we've got players that are great when we're winning, but they're
Mm,
not as good when we're trying to chase a game or we're in a bad moment. And I think he's the
yeah.
type of player and the type of character that will be fighting his ass off when it comes to a losing situation or a desperate situation or something we've got to pull out the fire. And so
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
that, yeah, Dom for me.
Yeah. 100% agree, man. Glad we're on the same page, man. You know what I'm saying? Glad
Well,
we
yeah,
agree.
all right.
You know what I mean? But listen, guys, like I said, man, you know the thing, road to 500, man. So make sure you're doing all the good stuff, man. Making sure you're subscribing, hit notification bell, like, share, send it to your auntie, to your cousin, to your uncle. You never know, man. They might be interested. You know what I'm saying? Share that on your WhatsApp stories. Follow us on the socials, man. Get us to that magic 500. But yeah, man. Overall, Sam celebrating. I'm still on the fence, but it's been a good night, man. So until the next time, people, man.